think that social is the number one platform that matters. It's where all of the world's attention is. So often you're finding these people because they are popping or doing something really incredible and social. But when it comes to how can you help monetize them, how can you build them, do they have real proof points that they can create long-form content that can sustain attention? YouTube is that space.
Offscript is charting new territory, taking the more traditional idea of an A&R at a record label and updating it for the digital age. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh, the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Today is the day in which we observe Veterans Day. Thank you to all of you that have served and that are serving. We appreciate your sacrifice. And at the same time, I do have a level of sympathy for those who went into service with the best of intentions of protecting Americans from all enemies, both foreign and domestic, and your deployments have been into American cities. Just like some people are saying when they voted for Trump, they did not vote for all of the mayhem that is happening. I would like to believe that the vast majority of our servicemen and servicewomen and other service genders did not sign up to patrol American streets. So we appreciate all of you for your dedication to the American people. In the city of Milwaukee, we have crime because we have crime in Wisconsin. And we have crime in the United States of America. And because we do, in fact, have crime and so many definitions of it, there's some really unusual crimes and very suspicious circumstances every now and again. Sometimes it's just an argument where two people get into a fight. That's assault and battery. Or maybe it can get taken a step further and somebody pulls out a weapon and they can recklessly endanger someone. There are crimes involving white collar activities and crimes of passion, of course. There's also crimes like putting raisins in potato salad. There are many different definitions of crime, and it's every single day, and we rack our brains trying to figure out how we can eliminate it or solve it or reduce it. So it's this constant cycle. I also know that news media, especially here in the city of Milwaukee, they report on crime because these are things that we need to know, do we not? We need to provide information to the public so that we can find the suspects and hopefully bring them to justice. But also, it's a barometer of how a particular city is doing. And I don't fault the news media for sensationalizing crime. I could say, oh, they're making black people look bad. Well, we're giving them the raw material for that. They cover crimes as they happen. You know, if they happen out in greener pastures, I'm going to call them, even though we know those pastures in other parts of the state of Wisconsin are not necessarily greener because they're nicer. They're greener because they're just more manure in the grass. But they'll cover crime out there, too. Sometimes the tone is a little bit softer when it's a crime out in those greener pasture areas, and you'll see interviews from people who live in that local area saying things like this never happen out here. Not true, because you're being interviewed for a murder and a double homicide, suicide, triple-decker murder. So it does happen out there. Crime is all over the place. And so what local media will do is they'll post some of these crime stories, these links to these stories, wherever they happen, whatever the details are. They'll post them on social media, and that's where this feeding frenzy of sorts takes place. Typically, if you are from Milwaukee and you are connected to, let's say, the Facebook, and you'll see one of our local media outlets post a crime story. And let's just say it happens to be two African-American suspects and or victims, okay? And then one of our local news media outlets will post this on Facebook, and they'll leave the comment section open without me giving you any more details than that the comment section is left open. You can imagine some of the things that people say about a crime. Maybe it's a homicide. I don't know. Maybe it's a car theft. Maybe it's a strong arm robbery or whatever the case may be. The racism in the comments is just as predictable as the sun rising in the east and Donald Trump committing impeachable offenses. It just doesn't stop. These people are this, and where are their fathers, and they need to get a job, and these people are prone toward criminality. It goes on and on and on and on. Now, remember, this is when there are two or more African-American either suspects, assailants, and or victims, and local media, maybe the Journal-Sentinel, maybe TMJ4 News, maybe Fox 6 News, maybe Channel 12, WISN, maybe even CBS 58. God bless CBS 58. They'll post these stories about an African-American man, woman, child, whatever, committing a crime, and the racism in the comments are just as you would expect. In fact, probably even worse than you would expect. And for those of you that believe that we live in some kind of post-racial society, let me not take that belief away from you. But before you commit to that belief that America is a post-racial society, because, you know, Obama, Go read the comment sections of a crime or a homicide that took place on the north side of the city of Milwaukee where the suspect is black, if you think we're in a post-racial society. But then, every now and again, in all of these crime stories that we see here in the city of Milwaukee, because they're a daily occurrence, sometimes it doesn't fit the narrative that we're used to. Sometimes it's not a black man shooting another black man. Sometimes the victim of this crime is a white woman with yellow hair and very pale skin. So pale, in fact, that I bet if she goes out on a sunny day, her freckles will come out and she'll get a little taste of the sunburn. Sometimes those are the victims of crimes, too. And as opposed to when the victim of the crime is an African American and all of the racism just gets emptied out in the comments section, when it's a white woman who is the victim, and let me be clear when I say, I'm using this as an example. I am not making light of what happened to Ariel Spillner. It is a tragedy. But the tone is so much softer. But she was a pharmacy student. What was she doing on 39th and Lancaster? Another cross street you may be familiar with is Villard. But why was she there? I don't understand. Those same people that if they could and not get banned from Facebook would be in the same comment section. If it was a black man or a black woman or a black child that was the victim, they would want to use the N-word. But when it's one of theirs that gets killed, but I don't understand why she was on that street. She was a white lady. Here's something I can tell you about living on the north side of the city of Milwaukee. Homer will probably tell you the same thing. Homer and I live right around the corner from each other. I have, in fact, lived and owned my home on the north side of the city of Milwaukee for longer than I lived and grew up in Brown Deer. Okay? So I have all the experience one could ever need about living on the north side of the city of Milwaukee. Here's something that I see that is commonplace, and I've remarked on it before in previous radio shows because it's very frustrating. I see these white kids, men, and women trolling around and patrolling around our neighborhood. I say ours because they abandoned them. They abandoned our neighborhoods when we moved in. They moved out, and we know what that segregation did. They took tax base with them. They took expendable income with them. Fair enough, okay, but if you're going to move away and leave the black neighborhoods to be just black, then stay out. I see them coming in my neighborhood buying dope. And then when they overdose and they're lying dead on the street, then it makes my neighborhood look bad. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm out here raking my leaves. Kidding, I do not rake my leaves. You think I don't see? You think I ain't seen it over the past 20 plus years? I get done on the air at noon. I go home, head back to the crib. These white kids supposed to be at Waukesha South High School. They're over here in my neighborhood looking to score. It's frustrating to me. It really is. Because the lack of jobs and employment and economic opportunity that is now in its third generation in our community has turned itself into people just providing the dope in which there is a demand for so some people can feed their families. Now, I'm not justifying selling dope now. But they take advantage of that. It's an exploitation. They buy this dope, they overdose on it, and then the black person that sold them the dope bears more responsibility than the person that bought it and overdosed in the first place. It's terrible. I really wish we could rectify such problems, but here we are. There is an understanding, I guess, at least from the news reports of, you guys know what I'm talking about? The Jamaica Mills was allegedly smoking marijuana with Ariel Spillner, Caucasian woman, pharmacy student at Concordia University, where, ironically, Dr. Ken is an instructor. And something happened in the course of them smoking marijuana. Let's just say for a moment they were, in fact, smoking marijuana. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what them women was doing, okay? But the actions and the behaviors that ensued after the marijuana was smoked is not indicative nor consistent with marijuana. But let's just say it was marijuana that caused this situation. That marijuana needs to be made illegal or it needs to be more heavily regulated, because if this marijuana, these potent strains and these cannabinoids and cannabinols and these terpenes and these high levels of THCA and THC Delta 8 and THC Delta 9, I don't even know what all that damn stuff is. And if I don't know what the hell it is, people are ingesting it and they don't know what it is either. If marijuana can cause someone to get so paranoid that they shoot their friend and kill them with a .380 caliber lightweight compact pistol made by Luger, and then they shoot themselves in the stomach, then marijuana needs to be made illegal. I have the criminal complaint of the killing of Ariel Spillner by Jamaica Simone Mills, as she was charged in Milwaukee County Circuit Court for the death of Ariel Spillner at Mills' Northside residence. They say that they were smoking marijuana. I guarantee with the toxicology reports, which we may or may not get as the public, because really it's not our business. Now, it'll be released in court, and court, of course, will be a public proceeding if you want to go, I'm sure, and listen in on the courtroom proceedings, because this woman is definitely charged with reckless homicide. Marijuana is going to be found in both of their systems. But marijuana is not the only drug that is going to be in their systems. This I can guarantee you. So we're going to talk about making sure that marijuana is either prohibited or more highly regulated than it is. And I say that because the reason why controlled substances were made illegal in the first place around the turn of the 20th century, including cocaine, is there was maybe a stereotype or a fallacy that when certain people ingested these intoxicants, it would work in an unpredictable way with their system. I'll use myself as an example. I am insanely sensitive to THC. Insanely sensitive to it. This stuff they got out here now, I can't touch with a 10-foot pole. But because marijuana and ingesting the marijuana and the vaping and the dabbing and the edibles and the candies and the chocolates and the brownies and the cookies and the peanut brittle is so common that people that regularly ingest have a high tolerance. So when they purchase it, they want higher and higher levels of the intoxicating compounds, the THC and the Delta 8 and the Delta 9 and the Delta 10 and the terpenes and the cannabinoids. I don't even know what that stuff is.
It's a gateway drug, ladies and gentlemen.
Doesn't need to be a gateway. If marijuana can do this kind of stuff to you, I mean, this is as bad as K2. This is as bad as bath salt. This is as bad. If it was, in fact, marijuana that causes situations, I'm going to make the case for either making sure that marijuana remains illegal or it's regulated even more. Because right now, they aim it at kids. They do. Marijuana, all the edibles and all the candies. Like, you can get Skittles. It looks like normal Skittles, but it's marijuana. Every so often, you'll even hear about a young child that mistakes marijuana edibles for candy, and they'll take it. And like 2- and 3-year-olds, I've reported on a couple of these stories before. First of all, 5 or 10 milligrams of THC when you eat it will put you on Venus. Imagine a 2-year-old eating an entire pack of weed-laced Skittles. Now, here's the thing. It won't kill you, but that child ain't going to grow up. They're going to grow up like Smokey in a chicken coop in the first Friday. So I'm going to take a break, come back, continue our conversation. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, where I'm going to make the case where marijuana needs to remain illegal or even more regulated here in the state of Wisconsin. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's a big week for Educators Credit Union during College Scholarship Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. They will highlight the $70,000 in scholarships Educators Credit Union gives to 35 outstanding high school seniors in southeastern Wisconsin. We will also discuss their useful college planning resource tool, which can be found on the Educators Credit Union website. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together. For more information, visit ECU.com.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month. And get this, 0% interest for up to 6 years. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30 of 2025.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I like them cool and kinda cocky, not too much to make them move. And try to lock me, try to take away the jewels. You cannot stop it, gotta understand the rules. I've been the type to wear the heart on my sleeve. Been the one to always choose the wrong play. Like the type to ever see me lonely. I keep my socks on during loving. In and out, baby, in and out.
A 31-year-old Milwaukee woman faces first-degree reckless homicide charges after allegedly shooting her friend following a shared marijuana session that led to paranoia, according to criminal complaints. Jamaica Simone Mills was charged in Milwaukee County Circuit Court for the death of Ariel Spillner at Mills's Northside residence. The charge includes a dangerous weapon modifier that could add 5 years to a possible 60-year prison sentence. According to the criminal complaint, which I have, the incident occurred around 9:43 p.m. near 39th Street and Lancaster Avenue. Mills told investigators she became paranoid that Spillner might stab her with scissors meant for grooming a dog, though she admitted Spillner made no threat and she never saw any scissors. Huh? You think marijuana was the culprit in somebody having a hallucination about some scissors? Now, marijuana will likely be found in both of these women's systems because I'd imagine for most people, probably 6 out of 10 people, certainly under the age of 50, no, under the age of 60, 6 out of 10 people are probably going to have some marijuana, some THC in their system. So they probably did smoke weed. Whether they smoked weed that night or they smoked weed the day before or the weekend before, THC is likely going to be found in their system. But I don't know if marijuana, as potent as it is, could cause this. Now, if they were on other highly regulated, illegal, Schedule 1, 2, 3 controlled substances, I can imagine someone in a moment of panic saying, oh, yeah, we were just smoking weed because they didn't want to admit to the other drugs that they may have been, well, not they, she, because there's only one survivor, Jamaica Simone Mills, she may not want to admit that they were doing other drugs or that she was doing other drugs because marijuana has become acceptable. I've grown weary of it over the last probably 10 years. At first, it was such a revelation because, we looked at marijuana as something that was used to incarcerate. Well, and was Richard Nixon said it, right? When the Southern Strategy kicked in and what used to be the racist, segregationist, KKK Dixiecrats, Richard Nixon said, stop voting for Democrats and come and vote for a Republican, because Richard Nixon had a plan to make the Republican Party the new party of racism. Because Lyndon Johnson, who was John F. Kennedy's vice president, signed landmark civil rights legislation into law, which made him an ineffective Democrat. And Richard Nixon said, look, stop voting for these Dixiecrats because they are the ones that are integrating your schools or integrating public accommodations. Come on over to the Republican Party's southern states and become red states, and we'll do something new to oppress black people. Black people and hippies, anti-Vietnam War protesters, because Nixon hated them too. We're going to go after people for marijuana, and we're going to build an entire prison industrial complex. and we can pursue anybody we want to, but we're going to focus our pursuit on anti-war Vietnam protesters and black people, and the war on drugs was born. And I looked at that, and I looked at all of the lives that were harmed, and there were other drugs too. Of course, there was a crack epidemic and other, drug epidemics that disproportionately impacted African Americans whose communities were deindustrialized. And I saw the statistics and the number of black men in particular that were taken out of their families and taken out of their communities. And there was like this void of us as black men. I think that void still exists today, but it's more so in theory, because for a long time, black men were gone. We were either dying young, which we still are, and I got the 2025 homicide database. Wait till I read that. Oh, you're going to love that when I read that later on in the program. So for a while, black men, we were absent. And then it's interesting because now we're kind of back. Black men are a little bit we're back, kind of. Also, theoretically, we're back. But then we're angry that black women don't need us. They had to get by without us for a very long time because of criminal justice policies in this country. You can even go back to the welfare system where you were penalized if there was a man in the home. And that's all come back full circle as well, has it not? So the black man was gone for a while because of these policies, and it left this void, which maybe it's being filled now, maybe it is not. And so I looked at all of that data, like the number of people that were locked up and serving, however, like people were getting life sentences for marijuana. So Joe Biden finally pardoned. There were still people in the federal corrections system that had marijuana charges. So one of the final acts as president that Joe Biden did, it was certainly in his last year. I don't know if it was his final act. His final act was pardoning his boy, Hunter. But he pardoned all of the individuals that were still serving time or had convictions, a federal conviction for marijuana, because it was used specifically to target African-American men. Because the thing about marijuana and smoking it, which is how it was typically ingested, now you can drink it, now you can rub it on your face, you can probably do all sorts of stuff with it now. Smelling marijuana is probable cause to search, right? If law enforcement has probable cause to search, it's over for you. They can plant something, they can do whatever they want, haul you to jail forever, right? And so I looked at all that and I was like, no, I need to be a proponent to legalize marijuana because of all of the damage that it did. And then I drank the Kool-Aid like everybody else did. I looked at states like Colorado, look at all the revenue that they're making, and we can fund the schools and we can fund the roads. That's insane to me. To take the revenue from an intoxicant that can and will be abused. It will be. I know some of y'all thinking, well, marijuana is not as bad as alcohol. If you drink too much alcohol, you're probably going to fight somebody and you're likely going to be wearing a very dirty white T-shirt because all drunk people have dirty white T-shirts on, but you're going to pass out. You're going to be knocked out if you drink too much liquor, too much Budweiser. I mean, you probably punch somebody in the face a couple times, maybe yourself, not sure. But this marijuana that they have, it is so insanely potent. And the other thing about it, it's unstudied. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of chemicals in this marijuana. And it's being grown, it's being crossbred, and they're coming up with these new strains, and it's all unregulated. And we don't know how a certain person's internal biological constitution is going to work with these controlled substances. And for us to get revenue and to highlight the revenue that we're going to get from selling a vice is insane to me. I have a much more evolved level of thinking. Now, here we get back to the story here with Jamaica Simone Mills and Ariel Spillner. Do I think that marijuana was the culprit in this story? No, but I'm going to use it as an example as to why marijuana can be just as dangerous as anything else. And for those marijuana advocates who want to legalize it, and I used to be one of them, we have to be incredibly careful. Alcohol is legal too, and it is destroying American society. Now, here's where I give more credit to not younger millennials, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They don't drink. They don't. I got bar owner friends that are witnessing as their clientele is starting to get younger. Because old people can't drink forever, right? You can't. And so what bar owners need to do is they need to appeal to a younger and younger crowd to keep their bars busy and bartenders employed and to keep making profit. These younger children, I shouldn't call them children because they're adults, they're not drinking nearly as much. Baby boomers, drunk. My generation, Gen X, drunk. Millennials, tipsy. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, not nearly as much. And maybe they are finally figuring something out. And now like the health, negative health aspects of alcohol drinking as well has now become apparent. So do you guys remember when there's a whole bunch of studies coming out, maybe in the 90s, early 2000s, drinking a glass of red wine is good for you? Lies. All propaganda. There's no amount of alcohol that's safe to drink that's okay for you. You know that? Now, here's the thing. You can drink a little bit in moderation because the human body is real tolerant, but that was all propaganda to get people to drink more red wine. You know what else it was? It was getting people to continue drinking while marijuana was becoming more and more legal. Here's the other thing. When marijuana is legal or deregulated or recreationally available, people drink less alcohol. A lot less. And alcohol companies, which you guys remember the Partnership for a Drug-Free America? Of course you do if you're old enough. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. And they would make a delicious omelet. It just looks so, the way those eggs would sizzle in that commercial, I was like, huh, add a little salt and pepper. You ever add a little grated Parmesan cheese to your sunny side up eggs? I'm just saying, give it a try. The Partnership for a Drug-Free America was a collaboration of many different agencies and institutions to stop kids from doing the drugs. But you know who one of the main sponsors of that was? A company called Seagram 7. Don't do drugs. Drink alcohol. Take a break, come back. I'm going to read the criminal complaint on the other side. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wisconsin winters can be tough, and so are higher energy bills. The Community Advocates Milwaukee County Energy Assistance Program is ready to help you. Eligible Milwaukee County residents can receive help with their energy bills and weatherization benefits to keep you warm and help you manage your heating and electric bills. Schedule your personal appointment at keepwarmmke.org or call 414-270-4653. For more details about locations and hours of operation, go to communityadvocates.net. This program is administered by the State of Wisconsin Department of Administration.
At Heart of Canal Street, for over 30 years, our hearts have been set on making a difference for children in our community. Now through December 10th, we invite you to share your heart by playing the Canal Street Bingo game at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Every time you play this special bingo game, you're helping to raise funds for children's charities in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
It's official. July 5th is Tory Lowe Day in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. I am humbled to receive this proclamation from the mayor's office and the county executive's office. To me, this day represents life and purpose and being driven by passion to serve and empower others. It's about being unselfish and answering the call to help those in need and living life with intention. Despite challenges and obstacles, I remain focused on creating real change in my community, county, and state. This recognition isn't about me. It's about the collective efforts of those who supported me along the way. It's about the resilience and determination that defines my journey. As we celebrate this day, I want to leave you with a challenge. What will you do to create positive change in your community? Will you get out and volunteer, mentor, or simply be a support to a friend? Whatever it is, I urge you to take action. Together we can build a brighter future, one that's filled with hope, opportunity, and empowerment. I am honored to serve, and I am grateful for this recognition. Let's continue to uplift and support one another, striving for a better tomorrow. So what does Tory Lowe Day mean to me? Let's make a difference together. Let's stay committed to our purpose and keep pushing forward even in the face of adversity. I'm excited to see the impact we can make, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve alongside such an amazing community. Now, my question is, what does Tory Low Day mean to you?
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Low Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I feel like everything I touch can turn to gold. I'm picking this up on my confidence. In second trial, free cause I can't pass up on my briefcase. Too wrong for them. Wanna be like
Mills, Jamaica, Simone, 5102 North 39th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53209. Date of birth, 11/6/1993. She just had a birthday. Shout out to Homer Blow, who provided this criminal complaint to me. Complaint filed 11/8/2025. Anna Maria Hodges, clerk of court, the Honorable Laura Crivello, Branch 36. The below-named complainant, being duly sworn on information and belief, states that count 1, first-degree reckless homicide, use of a dangerous weapon. The above-named defendant on or about Tuesday, November 4, 2025, at 5102 North 39th Street in the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, state of Wisconsin, did recklessly cause the death of Ariel Spillner, another human being, under circumstances which showed utter disregard for human life, contrary to Wisconsin State Statutes 940.21 parent 1 and 939.50 sub 3B and 939.63 parent 1 sub B. Upon conviction for this offense, a Class B felony, the defendant may be sentenced to a term of imprisonment not to exceed 60 years. And further invoking provisions of Section 939.63 sub 1B Wisconsin State Statutes, because the defendant committed the offense while using a dangerous weapon, the maximum term of imprisonment for the felony may be increased by not more than 5 years. Probable cause. Complainant is a law enforcement officer with the Milwaukee Police Department. Complainant bases this complaint on the complainant's own knowledge and investigation and on information conveyed to the complainant by other members of the Milwaukee Police Department and through police reports written by fellow members of that department. Based on that information, complainant states follows. Scene response. On November 4, 2025, at approximately 9:43 p.m., members of the Milwaukee Police Department were dispatched to 5102 North 39th Street, lower unit, in the city and county of Milwaukee, state of Wisconsin, for a shooting complaint. Upon arrival, officers Catherine Gomez and Sarah De Leon located 2 female subjects inside the residence. One female subject was identified as the above-named defendant. The defendant was conscious and laying on her back and had a gunshot wound to her abdomen. The other female subject was identified as Ariel Spillner. Spillner was unresponsive and face down on the sectional couch. Spillner had a gunshot wound to her left shoulder. Spillner was pronounced deceased by the Milwaukee Fire Department at 9:52 p.m. The defendant was combative on scene and continued to be combative and uncooperative with hospital staff after she was transported to Frederick Hospital for treatment to her gunshot wound. Let me pause right there. Combative with a gunshot wound to the stomach? That wasn't weed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know what it was. I don't have a toxicology report, and I probably will not get one. But being combative with, the stomach area is where all your important parts are. You know what I mean? What's all in there? You got the stomach, the esophagus, pancreas, liver, intestines, large and small. That's where all the meat is at. You know what I mean? And she was still combative. Complainant states that during the scene investigation, a Ruger LCP 380 caliber handgun. So LCP is lightweight compact pistol. Oh, that's a little tiny little thing. That's a little concealed carry. You got to watch out for those because somebody can have an LCP 380. You wouldn't even know. It'll fit in a little purse. 2 spent 380 caliber casings were also recovered on the scene. The handgun was originally found by first responding officers near the defendant's body. There was a pair of green leggings with blood on them and a brown T-shirt recovered that had what appeared to be a bullet hole in the front abdomen area and a large amount of blood on it. The outline of the bullet hole was black, which complainant states is indicative of a close-range gunshot. It should be noted the defendant was not wearing clothes when first responders arrived. So, oh, whoa, you think we did this? I don't believe that marijuana was the responsible intoxicant, but let's just say that it was. Let's say that somewhere, and I'm not over here saying, oh, the weed was laced. Some people that already have a genetic predisposition towards psychosis, a certain amount of even alcohol, a certain amount of marijuana, or a certain amount of other prescription drugs can elicit these kinds of responses. And while I have to, when exposed to new information, revise my previous thinking, okay, that's where learning actually comes from. You get new information, you change your old ways based on new and updated information. That's how human beings invent technology. We learn new stuff and then we update what we currently exhibit, right? If the legalization of marijuana has created strains that are so incredibly potent to satisfy a market that has a ever-growing tolerance and want higher and higher and higher and higher percentages of THC, it gets to a point where it's extremely dangerous. Just like alcohol that might be 20 proof is one thing. Alcohol like Everclear that's 180, 190 proof, that is another. It takes smaller and smaller and smaller amounts to get the intended or in some cases unintended effects. The marijuana legalization, if this was marijuana that did this, whether it was or whether it wasn't, I don't know. That's all the information that I have, but it's helping me make my case that marijuana needs to be more heavily regulated because in certain situations with certain people that already have a predisposition towards psychosis, marijuana can be more dangerous than alcohol or some other drugs, but it's dismissed as being safer. With some people, absolutely it is. But it's not about some people. It's how the extremes of some of this extremely potent marijuana could lead to death, maybe. Investigators also located a Ruger firearm box with purchase paperwork in the defendant's name. The defendant had a bedroom in the residence, and located in that bedroom was .380 caliber ammunition. The statement of the EAB, who is the defendant's sister-in-law, was on the scene. So EAB must be someone's initials who they do not want to identify in a complaint. EAB, who is the defendant's sister-in-law, was on the scene when police arrived. EAB was interviewed and indicated that she was present in the house at the time of the shooting. EAB stated she was in her room with the defendant's child and heard someone say, B-word, you tripping, and then heard 2 gunshots. Complainant shows that the Ruger 380 handgun and 2 380 casings were submitted for a preliminary examination by members of the Milwaukee Police Department. The preliminary examination revealed the 2 casings were fired from the recovered Ruger. So she shot Ariel Spillner and then immediately shot herself? Was that a suicide attempt? We're going to take a break. Come back. I'm going to continue reading the lurid and sordid details of this criminal complaint, which led to the death of Ariel Spillner, which was a story that was posted on social media midweek last week, and then all of the speculation about why Ariel Spillner was on 39th and Lancaster, why she, a white woman who's going to Concordia University studying pharmacology, why she was even in this situation, and now we have the details of it. I'm going to continue the criminal complaint on the other side. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, you just won $5,000!
What would you do with $5,000?
That's sweet for a couple months.
Yes! Yes,
There you go.
Yes.
That just made me happy.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Can we hold something?
Y'all holler back at y'all.
I got money now.
The American Cancer Society is launching Voices of Black Women, the largest ever study focused on Black women's health. This groundbreaking initiative is aimed at understanding health conditions like cancer so we can learn how to improve overall health among Black women. If you're a Black woman between 25 and 55 with no history of cancer, you can join by completing an online survey and short follow-ups twice a year. Your voice matters, because together we can uncover the root causes of cancer disparities and build a healthier future for generations to come. Learn more and enroll today at voices.cancer.org.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can help open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th, in person December 10th and 11th at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're in construction, looking for contracts, or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm so far out of sight. Sounds about right. I'm so far out of sight.
Complainant was present for a Mirandized interview of the defendant at Freighter Hospital on November 5, 2025. The defendant initially stated she could not remember what happened to her. She admitted she lived at the aforementioned address with EAB, which is her sister-in-law, and the defendant's child. She also admitted that she does own a smaller black handgun. She continued to tell detectives she did not remember what happened and woke up in the living room. Then the next thing she remembers was being at the hospital. The defendant identified Spillner as her friend that she has known approximately 1 year. She discussed who she, the defendant, and Spillner had dated. The defendant was shown a photo of the brown shirt and admitted she was wearing that shirt. The defendant then stated that she thought Spillner shot her first. She stated that they were hanging out at the residence and talking about Spillner's boyfriend, and then she heard a shot and felt shot. She could not provide an answer as to how or who shot Ariel Spillner. The defendant was asked for the truth and stated that she and Spillner went to the store around 9 p.m., then returned to the house and smoked weed together, and both became paranoid from smoking. The defendant mentioned that Spillner was supposed to cut her dog's hair with scissors. And the defendant became paranoid that Spillner would stab her with the scissors. She explained that she went into her bedroom and retrieved her firearm off of her bed and went back to the living room. The defendant said Spillner made a hand motion, and then the defendant shot Spillner one time, causing Spillner to fall to the ground between the couch and the ottoman face down. The defendant stated she did not observe the scissors, and Spillner did not make any threats to stab the defendant. So hang on. So first she doesn't remember anything, and then the cops asked her to tell the truth, and then she said she doesn't remember seeing the scissors. Spillner was supposed to cut her dog's hair with the scissors, and the defendant became paranoid that Spillner would stab her. She explained that she went into her bedroom and retrieved her firearm off her bed and went back into the living room. The defendant said Spillner made a hand motion, and then the defendant shot Spillner one time, causing Spillner to fall to the ground between the couch and the ottoman face down. The defendant stated that she did not observe the scissors, and Spillner did not make any threats to stab the defendant. The defendant stated that she walked toward the front door and accidentally shot herself in the stomach, but did not know how she shot herself. After shooting herself, she heard EAB yell, "What did you do?" The defendant was adamant that was the truth, despite suggesting other stories previously. She stated she did not mean to kill Spillner, but understood firearms can kill people. I think she tried to commit suicide when she realized she shot that girl and she killed her. The stomach is not... I'm not trying to tell anybody how to commit suicide. In fact, those of you that are thinking about it, don't do it. I promise you, tomorrow's going to get better, or like Thursday will be better. Don't kill yourself, because it hurts all the people that survive. So please don't. But that's not the kill shot if you want to kill yourself. Complainant states that Dr. Joseph Calderaro, his name doesn't matter. The doctor from Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office conducted an autopsy of Ariel Spillner on November 5, 2025. The doctor's preliminary conclusion as to the cause of Spillner's death was a gunshot wound to the chest. The gunshot entered the upper left chest, traveling front to back, left to right, and downwards. An 88-grain projectile was recovered from Spillner's right lung. The bullet passed through Spillner's left lung, left pulmonary artery, aorta, and penetrated her right lung. Oh, she was killed instantaneously. And that's it. Subscribed and sworn to me before on 11/07/25. Electronically signed by Ivan Vance Curzon, Assistant District Attorney, State Bar Number 1092906. Electronically signed by Detective Zachary Kvetkin, the original complainant. What do you make of that, ladies and gentlemen? That was a lot. We have crime here in the city of Milwaukee, and every now and again, those crimes are very unusual and very hard to explain. A lot of them are easy to explain. Two people have a beef, they get into an argument, maybe alcohol is involved, maybe other drugs are involved, and somebody shoots somebody else. Or maybe there's a car accident and someone is driving that vehicle recklessly and they harm somebody else. Or maybe there's a fight and there's assault and battery. Those crimes are frequent and they're usually easy to explain. I can't explain any of this. Do we think that the intoxicating drugs that one or both of these women were ingesting allegedly had something to do with the egregiousness of this crime? What about the fact that the defendant lived at this residence with another woman and a child? And we don't know the age of the child, because child could be anybody under the age of 18 years old. But the defendant says she goes and grabs her firearm off of her bed. Why do you got a firearm on the bed when you have a child in the house? So there is some irresponsibility. I also found this very interesting that, well, a lot of stuff about this is interesting. Ariel Spillner was supposed to cut the defendant's dog's hair. The defendant got paranoid that Ariel Spillner was going to stab her with the scissors. So the defendant shoots Ariel Spillner, apparently after they had engaged in marijuana smoking. How come there was no other report of a dog being in the unit? There was no other mention of the dog. That the EAB, the sister-in-law of the defendant, doesn't mention anything. Oh, I took the dog. There is an actual dog here. Was there not even a dog? How are you getting scissors to cut the hair of a dog and there's no mention of the dog on her criminal complaint? If there was a dog in the residence, it would have been identified by this detective. Detective walks into the residence, sees a 3-pound chihuahua running around barking. Where's the dog at? Does any of this make sense? Or am I trying to apply logic to a fever dream or a hallucination of the defendant because of the controlled substances that one or more of them may have been on? Now, I'm not going to make any unnecessary connections because I know that we do that sometimes. We try and fill in the blanks when information is missing. But a connection that I would make if I wanted to go outside of the existing facts as we know them. And I'll be honest with you, the facts right now are kind of scant. We know that Ariel Spillner is dead. We know the trajectory of the bullet. We know the caliber of the bullet. We know the handgun. We know who the handgun was registered to. Didn't find any scissors. Didn't find any dogs. So a lot of that stuff is irrelevant, I suppose, because there's no evidence of it. But pharmacy students experiment with drugs. And I'm not saying all of them do, but they do. Between pharmacists and pharmacy students, the access that they may have, or the curiosities, like even an academic curiosity about some drugs and some controlled substances is absolutely there. You know who else tends to experiment with drugs a lot? Anesthesiologists do as well. But again, I am not saying that Ariel Spillner was at all the cause of her own death, whether she took intoxicating drugs or not. I'm going to take a break. When I come back for hour 2, I want your reaction. Join us on YouTube by searching 1017 The Truth. Hit subscribe and then participating in our chat. I'll be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholar get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we'll be highlighting local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune in to 1017 The Truth's College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Marquette University and Educators Credit Union.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Potawatomi Casino Hotel Heart of Canal Street Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be speaking with Dr. Tiffany Tardy from Pearls for Teen Girls, an organization empowering girls in 5th through 12th grade across the Milwaukee area to lead the lives they deserve. Again, that is the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Heart of Canal Street Spotlight this Wednesday with Pearls for Teen Girls at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Where strong voices meet strong opinions.
Tell your kids who were supposed to be the 7th generation that Paw Paw's an idiot because Paw Paw decided he wanted to be Make America Great, but meanwhile the Chinese ain't buying soybeans from us no more because of policies Donald Trump put in, and they voted for us. You know, I don't know what we're gonna do. I know what you should have did. You should have voted for somebody that wasn't gonna put tariffs out there. I love God, but God can't save you from nonsense. You don't deserve a bailout. You can't sit here and vote one way, and then when your economy gets decimated, your way of life gets destroyed, you want to pray to God? God didn't tell you to go to that poll and vote against your own best interest. That was your own damn problem. That was you. But don't ask for prayer when you block your own blessing. That's why I don't feel bad for these farmers. You voted for this, and now you reap what you sow.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, every weekday from 12 to 1. Streaming live on YouTube and on 1017 The Truth.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just
be there and like listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine like if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So I spent the better part of the last hour talking about one of these unusual crimes. Now, it's a homicide, make no mistake about that, but we have a lot of homicides so far. I believe our number is 127 homicides as of 24 hours ago, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 9 more than we had at this point last year. Also, of the 127 homicides that we have reported this year so far in the city of Milwaukee, in 56% of the cases, can I say that number one more time? 56% of the cases. Ricky, can we title either this hour or this segment 56%? I think that'd be a fitting title for either the hour or this segment. No charges have been filed. And more than half of the 127 homicides in the city of Milwaukee as of yesterday, 56% of those cases, no one has yet been arrested. I am not placing blame on anyone or anything. I am stating a mere fact. We can speculate about that fact. We can add hyperbole to that fact. We can go on a rant about police and investigators and detectives. We could even go on a rant about, of the 56% of the 127 homicides that we have recorded so far in the city of Milwaukee as of 24 hours ago, we could even talk about the public's knowledge and the public's unwillingness to come forward with information that will lead to an arrest. One of those homicides was of a 16-year-old child. It is the nephew of our very, very good friend, Alderman Mark Chambers of the 2nd District. And for those of you that think our elected officials aren't doing anything, they need to be doing more, it's their fault that we have all of this crime, then how do you explain, if our elected officials had the power to stop crime, why are they still victims of it? Anybody want to explain that to me? We think that they can fix everything and solve it. You would think of an elected official, let's be clear just for a moment, because I get so tired of this. I get so tired of having elementary conversations with adults. If elected officials could have an impact on crime, wouldn't they protect themselves and their families first? They are representing people in the city, but they are still members of this community like everybody else is. And here's the thing about being in the city of Milwaukee. Now, we hope that these situations are rare, and all things considered, they are rare. Problem is, you have a city of 600,000 people. Some of the people of the 600,000 population in the city shouldn't be doing drugs, and they are. They shouldn't be drinking, but they are. They shouldn't have guns, but they do. They shouldn't be driving vehicles, but they are. And when there is a crime committed in the 96.1 square miles of the city of Milwaukee, where there are nearly 600,000 people, when the crimes are reported, they seem frequent all the time and every single day because we're just bombarded with them. But taken in totality, the fact that we have 600,000 people in this city and there's only 127 homicides is a reasonably small number. Now, it should be zero, I know. But people kill people. We send people into war for that purpose. There was murder in the Bible. So it is human. And so if we think that an elected official or a mayor or somebody else, I don't know, a county supervisor is going to be able to stop crime, then how come it wasn't stopped in the Bible? It's just persisted throughout human history. But this is one of those cases where there's so many questions, like what was Ariel Spillner doing on 39th and Lancaster? And I think that was a question that a lot of African Americans wanted the answer to. Or we wanted to point out, so in the comments section, when the Journal Sentinel and TMJ and other news outlets posted this story, because they sensationalized the hell out of this, because it's a perfect story, is it not? White woman with everything going for herself from a small town in up north Wisconsin, going to Concordia University, studying pharmacy, this blonde white woman, just the prototype of what America thinks a white person is. Hanging out with this black woman on 39th and Villard, allegedly smoking weed and cutting a dog's hair with some scissors, even though there was no scissors and there was no dog. And quite honestly, they didn't even mention finding any marijuana. Hold up, wait a minute, hold on now, because criminal complaints are very detailed. And this might be hypothetical, I'm going to just put this out there because some of y'all, in fact, a lot of y'all are a hell of a lot smarter than I am. I just got to pretend to be smart for 3 hours and I can go back to being dumb when I get off the air. If marijuana was smoked, wouldn't the officers, arriving officers or first responders be in a criminal complaint of noticing a smell or odor of marijuana? Because I've read, oh my God. If Homer, how long have we been reading criminal complaints? Like 10 years? If there were drugs on the scene, it would have been mentioned in the complaint because the detective would have made note of that. Like, oh, they said that they were smoking marijuana and I found a marijuana pipe or a blunt or something. There's not even the mention of any marijuana or paraphernalia being found. So, but there's also no mention of any other drug paraphernalia being found either. I'm finding these things so incredibly unusual. But where a lot of us got stuck is because if there's a crime that happens, a homicide, or even this situation where everybody was black, the white people in the comments of a posted story like this would use this to attempt to tarnish the morality of black people, of saying we're all criminals and all of our homes are broken and we're all very dangerous and we're all reckless with our guns. But when there's a white woman, it changes the narrative. Like, well, why was she there? Why? We don't get that same level of sympathy if the victims of these crimes are black. And I'm just trying to point that out. And so even when I first read the story, because when the story broke, I guess last week sometime, there was a lot less detailed information than even the current updated stories. I got WISN's website up. I got Fox 6 Milwaukee up. I've got the Journal Sentinel story. They all have stories on this. So there's a lot more detail that's available now than there was last week. But don't we have the right to question why a white woman from Concordia studying pharmacy at Concordia was on 39th and Villard and then ends up getting shot? Now, she is the victim, and I'm not making light of this whatsoever, but we live in a segregated community. White folks are afraid to come into the black community, aren't they? That's what they tell us. I would never go in that neighborhood. I'll never go to the north side. It's so dangerous. So I have every damn right to be curious as to why she was there in the first place. Now, she said they were friends. Oh, okay, whatever. I don't know how some friendships come to pass, and I'm not judging or saying that they weren't actually friends. I just find it incredibly unusual. Now, I also know that there's white people that love being in the hood. There are some white people, more than some, that feel more comfortable around black people than they do around white folks. Are you guys familiar? I might be introducing something new to some of you, that there are, in fact, white people that when they get the opportunity, they would rather be around black people, and they emulate black people, and they become one of us, and they get an automatic invitation to the cookout. Also, speaking of cookouts, how we used to freely give out invitations to the cookout. You guys remember a couple of years ago when if a white person did something that was even like a low level, like culturally understanding of black people, like, you're invited to the cookout. We would just invite all sorts of white folks for like not putting raisins in a potato salad, or you see a YouTube video or a TikTok video of a white person that can kind of dance a little bit, looks like they have a little bit of rhythm, or a white person that kind of sings with a little bit of soul. We invite them to the cookout. I personally put a clarion call out to our community that we were not inviting any more white people to the cookouts. In the middle of 2025, we need to have a moratorium on inviting the whites to the cookout, because I think they're taking it for granted. That being said, we all know white folks that are much more comfortable around us than they are around other white people. I've always been fascinated by that, because my comfort around white people is tempered. I can't be around a bunch of them. You know, like I have a threshold, but they got a threshold of how many of us they can be around too. And if they tell you that's not true, they're lying. A white person will be okay if it's 49 of them and 3 of us. They are not okay if it's 3 of them and 49 of us. I think I've gotten used to it, but because I've had to walk into some big rooms full of white folks, and you got to hold your own. You know, it could be an event, could be a retreat, could be a training. Here's the first thing that we do, especially if I am in unfamiliar surroundings, when there's a whole bunch of white folk, I look for the black people. Don't tell me y'all don't do that. White people, I got a question for you. No judgment at all. It's the judgment-free zone. If, I don't know, maybe you're a white person and you work for like social services or some field that's heavily dominated by African Americans, this is a legitimate question. I'm almost thinking another YouTube poll, but I don't think we would have enough answers because I don't know where my whites are. I don't even know if white people listen to me. Not live. I think white people listen to me later. My live listeners, I think, are black. If you're a Caucasian white person and you're going to, I don't know, some event, some corporate event, or maybe it's a social event, and it's 95% black, and you're a white person, and you're not racially ambiguous, people look at you, they think, oh yeah, SPF 50 and Crocs in sport mode. Well, you're a white person. You present as white, you represent your whiteness, and you're proud of it. Shout out to you and your European descent, okay? When you go into a big room, an unfamiliar room where you don't know anybody and it's all black people, do you look for other white people and do you go over to those whites, or do you mingle amongst the blacks? I'm just going to tell you because I've done that a lot. I've been in rooms and spaces where it's just been overwhelming, the number of white folks. And before I mix and mingle with the white people, I got to find the black people first. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I know I'm not like in a vacuum here. If you're black and you go into a huge venue and it's just like a Simon and Garfunkel concert, I mean, it's just white to the rafters, okay? Do you just say, oh, well, let me just say hello to people and introduce myself? Or do you go find the black folks first? But if you're at a Simon and Garfunkel concert, I don't think you're going to find any black people, mostly because I think both Simon and the Garfunkel are dead. I'm pretty sure. Maybe we'll play some Simon and Garfunkel on today's show, because why not? I have to find my center first. I got to find the black folks, and then that's when you get your intel. I'm going to check the YouTube chat in a second because I know that y'all got to be familiar with this. So if I go to a majority white event where it's like hundreds of people or even dozens of white people and I don't know any of them, I'm going to go and find, hopefully there'll be some black people there. It's a whole nother thing if you're the only black person there, because now you got to represent for the race, for the culture, for the ancestors, for Obama. Like it's too much. And white folks, they don't get it, do they? Any question And don't let there be alcohol involved. God bless you. You get into a room full of moderately to severely intoxicated white people, and you're the only black person. I want you to appreciate for a moment what that potentially could be like, because amongst these white people, somebody is racist. And then also in that group, somebody probably also wants to sleep with you. Here's an example that it can maybe cut across understandings here. Ladies, imagine if you're walking into an event or a venue or a gala or a gathering or a training where there are 319 men and there are 4 women. You know that feeling of like you don't know what's going to happen, who's safe and who's not safe, who's going to try and get inappropriate, who is not, who can you look to protect you? You know what I mean? Ladies, when you walk into that situation, that's intimidating. So for black people, and some black folks are going to say, oh, I'm not as scared of these white folks. 75 years ago, that's what a lynch party looked like. So you ain't got to be scared, but you better be vigilant. Because at any point, if they want to string your black ass up, they absolutely will, and you ain't getting away. So if you're black and you walk into an event, a gala, a training, a venue, and there are hundreds of white people, are you okay? Are you comfortable? Do you feel that anxiety? I have gotten used to it, because what I've come to find out is that most white people are harmless, but when they're in large groups, they're invincible. In smaller groups, harmless. Larger groups, those groups polarize based on race. And don't let a big group of white people make policies, because if they make policies, they will harm us more with the policies than any small group of them ever could with just their words. Let's take a break, come back, check the YouTube comments. We also put a poll up on YouTube, because the whole reason why we started talking about the situation with Ariel Spillner and the defendant, Jamaica Simone Mills, is that the defendant, who shot herself in the abdomen with the same firearm that she killed Ariel Spillner with, said that they were smoking marijuana. And I went on a little bit of a rant earlier talking about how this unregulated, really, really potent marijuana with Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, THCA, all these different hybrids and these different variables, how that can interact with someone's system and cause a very, very dangerous effect. Plus, you don't know how some strains of marijuana are going to interact with like your own biology or prescription medication that you're on or alcohol that you may have consumed. Do I believe that it was just marijuana as the culprit in this situation? I do not. Do I believe that there was even marijuana being smoked that night? No, I do not, because the officer that showed up to do the investigating didn't make mention of smelling marijuana or seeing any marijuana or marijuana propaganda. Not propaganda, paraphernalia, that's the word. We'll talk about all that on the other side. If you haven't done so, go vote in our YouTube poll. I want to know, do you think that this potent marijuana that's available now everywhere, there's a damn place on Farwell where it's a weed superstore. How did the Farm Bill in 2018 made marijuana legal? Basically, recreationally, it is legal everywhere in the country. In Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, you got a dozen or more dispensaries. But should it be regulated? Especially some of the candies that are designed to appeal to children. You know that they try to repeal candy cigarettes. Y'all remember back in the day when you had little candy cigarettes? And the federal government tried to regulate and make it legal, candy cigarettes, but then candy cigarettes like, we're just going to stop calling them candy cigarettes because you can't regulate the candy industry like you can the tobacco industry. That's a whole thing that took place in my childhood, actually, because we used to smoke candy cigarettes. And then lo and behold, when I turned 17, I started smoking real cigarettes. I'm going to take a break, come back, and just figure out the world's problems on the other side of the truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th and in person December 10th and 11th at Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're a construction company looking for contracts or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register today at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
At Educators Credit Union, they believe that every person should have the tools they need to achieve their dreams. Educators Credit Union is dedicated to helping our future leaders eliminate financial hurdles by providing 35 high school seniors a $2,000 scholarship every year. Applications open in January. Visit Educators Credit Union at ECU.com to learn more about how to apply. Educators Credit Union, insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Me say you find the right man where y'all look for, and the man carry feelings and hey, here Frisco kid tell him say watch ya. Yo, so now you find the right man where for tackle you. They make it easy for him when him tackle you, and if him bust it like I wanna make it rackle you. Mash up the show they can nobody can buckle you. If you find the right man where for tackle you, they make it easy.
So the thing about like dance hall and reggae music, if he's using profanity, you guys probably can't even tell. You know, he might be saying all sorts of really terrible things in here, but you can't really tell. That's the Frisco Kid. I think that his music is usually pretty clean. Stone Cold Sammy 316 says, how about just act normal? You don't have to represent anything. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Stone Cold Sammy, but I have a feeling if I continue to read your comments, I'm going to take that benefit of the doubt away from you. Black people in this country don't have the luxury to act normal because white folks are scared of our very presence. It don't matter how we act. That's why the respectability politics that has been shoved down the throat of black people is a thing of the past. They will kill us if we are walking down the street with a bag of Skittles and an Arizona iced tea. If we are minding our business and we have our hands on the wheel at 10 and 2, they'll still swear that they saw a gun and shoot us in our heads. So we don't have the luxury to act normal. White folks have a whole range of ways in which they can act, most of which are actually violent and dangerous, but we just dismiss it. Well, they were having a bad day. The luxury to be able to have a bad day. Black man is having a bad day. Somebody's going to call the police on him. White man having a bad day. He just shot 37 people. Well, you know, he lost his job. Cut him some slack. Black man get mad because he's getting bad customer service because he believes the person at the counter is racist. He says something about that. Sir, we're going to have to ask you to leave, or we're going to have to get law enforcement involved. So I said all that to say this. Acting normal is a luxury. I have to spend a disproportionate amount of my time explaining to good, well-meaning, God-fearing white people that say that they're not racist and don't have any racial bias and or think that they're living in a colorblind society. The way I have to explain their privilege to them is nauseating because I expect so much better from the master race. In fact, time to give up that title. Y'all are not the master race. You had a really, really good run for like 500 years. No, they did. Think about it. Indonesia, Indochina, Australia, Europe, Africa, Saharan and Sub-Saharan Africa, South Africa, all of South America, all of Central America, all of Mexico, the overwhelming majority of the United States and Canada. White folks had a good run. As evident by, you want to know how pervasive they are? Look how many people speak English. English is native to one country. England! Well, my black ass speaks it. I yell at Rick in English. So the sun never set on their empire, and their influence has been felt globally for half a millennium. But my, oh my, have they lost their way. Maybe they never had their way. I said all that to say this, Stone Cold Sammy. Black people define what normal is. However we act is normal. To me, my radio show is normal. It's a normal radio show. Anything else? Hold on, Rick. What you looking at me for? You a part of this too now. This is normal. I'm here 5 days a week, most weeks. 9 a.m. until noon.
This is not a normal radio show.
Yeah, it is normal to me. I'm just saying it.
Like this.
Someone else may define normal as like normal. I guess
normal is subjective.
It is. But because isn't normal boring? Especially in relationships. A normal woman, like with no trauma at all? Wait, none? Ooh, what's that like? So wait a minute, no trauma at all? She's never been hurt before? She's never been traumatized before? What do you mean she's not codependent? That's not for me.
Ain't that like kind of like gaslighting?
No, gaslighting is
or wouldn't it be considered what you just said kind of like toxic?
Well, everything is toxic now. Gaslighting is, hey, I think you're cheating on me. And the person says, you're crazy. Why do you think you get somebody to second guess their own thoughts? That's gaslighting. Like, oh, I think I just saw you steal that car. No, you didn't. You're crazy. You're hallucinating. You're seeing things. Like this woman who was smoking marijuana and shot Ariel, spilling her and shot herself. Gaslighting is getting the person to second guess their own logic. Jason Hunter says, I mingle toward the black people first and casually gravitate toward everybody else. I guess if I got more specific, if I'm in this large gathering where I don't really know anyone, first I'm going to look for the people that I know of any race. And if I don't know anybody there at this event, this gala, this training, I don't know what it is. It's got to be like a really big thing that like hundreds of people. I'm going to look for the people that I know of any race. And if I don't see anybody I know, I'm going to look to the black people. I'm going to go to the black people and we're all going to do a sigh of relief. Because like now I added another black person to the group because we're always in the corner somewhere because we have to keep our eyes out. It's like we have to watch the door. We got to see who's coming. We got to see who's going. So black people will, I know where to find us if we're in a big group. It's just like instinctive. Like I know where we're going to be. If there are black people in a large gathering, a large group, a training, a gala, whatever the hell it is, I know where we're going to be. We're going to be in a location where we can see everything and everybody. So I'm going to find us. It only takes me like 3 seconds to find us. I'm going to go over to us and be like, hey, everybody, hey, I'm Sherwin. And then I do a sigh of relief. Whew, at least I got some backing. And then I'm going to ask them, hey, white or black people, who can we trust here? Who of them, who is the good ones? I mean, I'm sure white people will do the same thing. But how often, here's something to think about before I take a little break here. How often in the course of regular everyday business in a city like Milwaukee, which is still intensely racially segregated, and workplaces are segregated too, neighborhoods, communities, hell, grocery stores, shopping center, everything is still segregated. I don't even know how Southridge is even still open. It makes zero sense to me. And I haven't been to Southridge in years, because what the hell would I go out there for? How often, unless you work in some specialized industry or vocation where your livelihood comes from working with the black community, how often in regular course of business does someone from West Allis, Greendale, Greenfield, South Milwaukee, Cudahy, Oak Creek, or Franklin, how often are they walking into rooms full of black people? How often does that happen? And if given the choice, most white people wouldn't even go to the event anyway. Unless they do it for a living and routinely, most white folks are not going to a large gathering of black folks. And here's the thing. I can understand why they would be nervous about that. But when I walk into a large gathering of white folks can never understand why I would be nervous about them. That is insane to me. They know damn well they would not go into a big group where it's 400 or 500 black folks if they didn't have to. They'd rather stay home. They're going to call in sick. But I am expecting to have to go into these big rooms of 300 and 400 and 500 white folks. And if I express any trepidation whatsoever to any of those white people, like, why, Sherwin? What? You're safe here. No, dummy, you feel safe here. It could be a woman that walks into a big room full of 400 men, and she could say to me, Sherwin, I don't feel safe here. And I would say, sweetheart, I guess I can't call her sweetheart. I would say, ma'am, I can totally understand it. Let's leave together. Take a break, come back, talk to Al on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened, and we know things happen, and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. Mm-hmm. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis. And he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died applied, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you ready to level up your mindset, your money, and your future? Join Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor, success coach, and published author for On the Journey with Coach Erica. Each month, Coach Erica shares real strategies, proven tips, and the mindset shifts you need to reach your goals. Tune in tonight at 6 p.m. for a powerful discussion on the topic of finances and turning your passions into profit. Coach Erica will be joined by realtor Rothea Hunt and Easy Fix Financials Jeremiah J.J. Jordan. That's On the Journey with Coach Erica, live today at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Hello, Al. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I know I heard you bring up 39th and Villard. Villard used to be real beautiful back in the day. You had a bakery over there. You had a pet store. But I think Villard went down when they started letting all them people with them checks move in, and everything just went from sugar to sugar honey iced tea.
Al, do you remember when there was a Ned's Pizza on Villard, like 43rd and Villard?
Yep, sure did, but that is probably just as an open field right now. But see, right now, Villard is nothing but coke and dope. And then the gas station right on the corner before you hit that little street that take you to Sherman, you know, usually at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't see nothing but derelicts, transients, cokeheads, Xanax, pill poppers. That ain't nothing but coke and dope over there. That's all it is. And the only thing that's probably still standing over there is that cousin. And cousin's probably only making their money off them Barada property people over there. But, yeah, all that just went down. I don't know what was going on over there, but there ain't nothing but coke and dope here at Central.
But they built the Villard Library over there. Isn't that trying to turn the neighborhood around? Am I thinking about the right area? They built a new Villard Library, like 30-something Villard,
yeah, but I think that... Yeah, that's right down the street from that sanitation place where the basements flood every month, and it smells like death over there. But if I'm not mistaken, I think that library, ain't that sort of like affordable housing and low income?
Yes, which you love.
Exactly.
I know you love it.
All that. And I think if they take away some of them check collectors, none against people who receive checks, and you take away some of them Barada properties, that whole neighborhood will change. But right now it's going to continue to go down straight to sugar honey iced tea, because you got nothing but check collectors over there and dope and coke. And you know, a lot of times when you had them people to collect the checks, they ain't watching them little rascals and them little heathens and them little kids they got. That's why everything seems to be normal. Me personally, I think with some of the kids who like to steal cars, they need to do them like Jesus on the crucifix. Nail that hand to the tree. Because that Lord Savior did not die for our sin. Didn't die for y'all sins. He died because he was on the wrong channel and he F with the right B. And she showed him where he was working with, showed her where he was working with. And that's why he hanging up on that cross. They ain't for no sins. Not the way he used to run with the worst of the worst and then brag to somebody that he say is bad, but then tell you can't brag to him. No. But that whole neighborhood needs to be revamped. And that's why it continued to look like it do. Because the houses are going down, and they just ain't nothing but checks. And you remember up the street you had the Cheetah Club.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Cheetah Club was popping, too, because you had those warehouses over there. Not today. They ain't nothing but dope and coke. But Villard used to be nice back in the day, along with Hampton. But right now, it ain't nothing but chaos and hell. Revamp the whole area. But if they don't, all they going to do is just re-gentrify it, just raise the property taxes and the rent. And the people who collect the checks, they'll move out somewhere else. But not your neighborhood. At least we hope not. Hell, I don't even want them in mine. Have a good day.
All right,
bye-bye.
Thank you for your call, Al. Now that I come to think about it, okay, let me see. What street am I on here? So let's say let's get on 43, on 43rd Street, so Sherman at Capitol, and let's travel north toward Villard, toward Silver Spring. Well, you got Berryland over there. So Berryland is going to be north of Silver Spring, and then you continue north to Mill Road. Those of you that are familiar with the city of Milwaukee know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's get on Sherman Boulevard. Let's start at Capitol Drive, and let's head north. Start right there on 43rd and Capitol, Sherman and Capitol, where 1290 radio, still is 1290, right where that radio station used to be, and let's go north. So you're going to go north. Where's Hampton is north. Let's start at Hampton. 43rd and Hampton. Sherman and Hampton, and travel north. Custer High School. Used to be Custer High School. Now it's Barack Obama's school of whatever the hell it is. Didn't that also used to be Lady Pitts? Do y'all remember Lady Pitts? Ricky, you too young to remember Lady Pitts. You remember Lady Pitts? That's where they shoved all the pregnant black
all
girls.
the pregnant girls go there. Yeah, I know what Lady Pitts is. It's inside Custer.
Not no more.
It's not?
No, it can't be. You can't just shove pregnant ladies in a basement of a school.
I didn't hear anything about it being shut down.
Well, it's not Custer anymore. It's been Barack Obama High School for probably 10 years. But I don't know if... What I'm trying to say is that... and Villard is also one of those streets as you were traveling north on 43rd Street, also known as Sherman Boulevard. And you start at Hampton and you continue going north to... No, Capitol is south of Hampton. That used to be an all-white neighborhood. Custer was a majority white MPS school until probably... Custer turned majority black probably earlier than most, probably in the 80s. Madison, Marshall, Vincent. When's the last time you've been to Vincent High School? If you go to Vincent High School, they have their athletes on the wall. And Vincent High School was open probably 70, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. LT would probably know. And you look at the athletes, all the different sports, basketball, football, whatever, and they have pictures of the star athletes from all the different sports on the wall. Like in 87 or 88 at Vincent High School, on that wall, right in the main lobby. And Vincent is a beautiful school. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. Like 87, 88, you start to see your first black athletes on that wall. Because prior to that, it's all white students that were the student athletes that were like stellar or all conference or whatever. They have their photographs on the wall. But then starting in like the late 80s, you start seeing your first blacks on the wall. And then by like 95 and on, it's all black. But I remember like going to Northridge because you would meet kids that went to Custer, Madison, Marshall, because Northridge served, that whole area, and that's what young people used to do. And it was plenty of white kids. We even had white kids that would transfer from Custer to Brown Deer when I was in high school. But no, that used to be a Caucasian neighborhood, the area of 39th and Villard, and that whole, like, even going west to 60th Street, 76th Street, 43rd to 60th, Capitol to Mill Road, because once you start getting south, well, then you got Florist. If you continue going north and you hit Good Hope, on the other side of Good Hope, that's Brown Deer. But that whole gigantic swath of the Northwest side used to be all white folks, and they got the hell out of here. So when people say, and Al mentioned it, oh, that neighborhood needs to change. It needs to be revamped. We need to, I don't know, whatever the term is, reinvest in that neighborhood. If we do, it would be white people moving back in and then gentrifying us out because they used to live there. Then we moved to Milwaukee and they left and went further out to the suburbs. And now they're out in Slinger and Hartford and Jackson. They're running away from us, basically. And that is why you have those pockets of conservative voters in the wild counties. If you think about it, to our north, you have Ozaukee County. And then to our northwest, you have Washington County and Dodge County. To our direct west, you have Waukesha County. Directly to our south, you have Racine. And then to our southwest, you have, I think that's Walworth County. If you think about it, those counties are a noose around Milwaukee County. So we are surrounded by Republicans and conservative voters, which makes our voter turnout in Milwaukee County and the city of Milwaukee really, really important to counteract this noose of conservative voters in the surrounding counties around Milwaukee. But that it looks that way because those folks used to live in the city of Milwaukee because Milwaukee was an industrial powerhouse. Up until the year 2000, if I'm not mistaken, Milwaukee was in the top 20 biggest cities in the country. We ain't been on that list in I don't know how long because people keep moving out. Milwaukee used to be a destination, and in the Laverne and Shirley days and Happy Days, which I hated, by the way. I hated those shows. I hate them to this day. I hate reruns of them. I hate the Bronze Fonzie. Let me say something. We didn't do it. We didn't do it. So everybody calm down. But one night, I shouldn't even say it. But we didn't do it, so I can say it, right? We was gonna get that Fonzie. We was gonna get it. We ain't get it though. It was a group of us. We was like, let's go get that mother father. Let's go get that Bronze Fonzie. Let me tell you why we were gonna get it. Because the weekend that Henry Winkler, who played the Fonzie, and nothing against Henry Winkler, dude is an actor, but the weekend that they unveiled the Bronze Fonzie statue, they had a whole parade for dude. He threw out the first pitch it was Miller Park then. So he came to Milwaukee when they're unveiling the Bronze Fonzie. They had a parade for him. He threw out the first pitch, and then they unveiled the Bronze Fonzie. It was August of 2010, right? That was the same weekend that we found out that Dr. James Cameron did not have enough funding to keep open the only Black Holocaust museum maybe in the country. So we were lamenting losing a piece of our history. At the same time, the city of Milwaukee was celebrating Fonzie, which is an image that is not even reflective of what Milwaukee ever was. That ain't the Milwaukee that I know. That's embarrassing. And that's why people still to this damn day, oh, you're from Milwaukee, there's no black people in Milwaukee. Yes, it is. Y'all ever still hear that when you travel? Like, oh, you're from Milwaukee? There's no black people in Milwaukee. Yeah, I got to correct them. There's too many black people in Milwaukee. We need to balance it out with more Asians. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. To learn more about how you can take your first steps in buying your forever home, visit associatedbank.com/lending. That's associatedbank.com/lending. Or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 6 years. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30 of 2025.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You mean to tell me say some of them get confused? You mean to tell me say some of them I say them don't know how them get used? Jesus, space too much man I try on them shoes, man. I them a deal with sir. Yo, easy, sir.
So when bashment time come to sign up, we see send up for them out, they can't line up. And them can't write no script, no join up. Man must have spin them round, out them twine up. And when bashment time come to sign up, we see send up for them out, they can't line up. And them can't write no script, no join up.
Calling all black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story? We've teamed up with Associated Bank for our black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your black business interview, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community with exposure on the truth. For official contest rules, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. All right, where are we at here in our lives? I want to check the poll here. I guess hour 3, I'll talk about how I would like to see potent strains of marijuana more strictly regulated, because if growers are allowed to continue to breed and crossbreed different and new strains of marijuana, and cannabis is still understudied. We're studying it more, but it's still very unknown. And if we don't know how some of the chemical compounds are going to react with certain people's biology, and quite honestly, other drugs you might be on. We know that it's got an interactive effect with alcohol, but it could have an interactive effect with other things. And I'm doing this not to make marijuana legalization advocates upset, but for the safety of the public, because if we don't know what's in it, then we don't know the harms that it can have. First, we have to protect children, because there's far too many children that are mistaking like candies and cookies and brownies that are laced with THC for regular, normal, not laced candies and brownies and cookies. And also, they're making products and they're aiming them at children. The cigarette industry used to do that too with candy cigarettes. They aim these things at children. The alcohol industry used to do it. They have regulations now. So you guys remember as a little kid, you're always going to the liquor store with some adult. And there would be like posters and liquor advertisements on the bottom of the counter. I just remember being a little kid and counters being impossibly high because we were really short. But they would have advertising for different, even for cigarettes, on the bottom of those counters there. That was aimed at children. So that when children grew up and got older, they were already preconditioned to be familiar with alcohol brands. Let's talk to, ain't no telling where this conversation is going to go. Lisa, I hope that you have something to say on the topic.
Yeah, Sherwin, I remember those. And them little sticks were nasty. Oh, God, they were just tasteless and nasty. But anyway, how are you doing, love?
Lisa, do you drink liquor?
No. I'm just high on happiness and getting another day. Well, you have no idea.
Hold on, wait, Lisa. Before you go into your rant, let me go into mine. Let's explore this a little bit further. Have you ever tasted alcohol before?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. What alcohols have you tasted? Have you ever been a drinker?
I don't. No. I was around, Prince and them. And I tried it. They told me the difference between red wine and white wine. I smelled it. It smelled awful. First
what you mean they told you the difference? The difference is the color.
Yeah, they told me the difference. Red wine and white wine, but it's horrible. Neither one. I mean, they both taste. And I said, look, it was funny because Larry said you drink your wine out of the box. I said, I sure do. Give me that wine cooler. That box or black, I don't care. I do the box.
So you used to get tore up from the floor up. You used to get bent.
Man, with the wine cooler, dude, you get twisted up. 1.5 wine cooler. Ooh, I'll be out of there, player. Ooh, I'll be so drunk. Ooh. Yeah, I got to go to sleep. Like a half of one. Oh, my niece said a half of one.
What the hell kind of wine coolers is y'all drinking where you getting drunk off a half a wine cooler?
What was it? I used to drink Bottles and James, and then the other Hard Mikes. And then what's the other one?
That's recent, because Mike's Hard Lemonade is a relatively recent brand. Oh, so you've been drinking recently.
Yeah, I stopped pretty much. I lost my taste. I still can't smell. My smell comes and goes. And my taste is not the best either. But since, when COVID started, when I was first going through all this, I had bought me like a case. I went to Sam's Club and bought a whole case.
Wait a second, Lisa.
And I was like,
your taste and smell still has not come back from COVID?
No. When I smell, like I get my sprays and stuff. And when I spray it, okay, I got to keep sniffing and sniffing. I said, oh, there it goes. And then, it's gone again. So my smells and my taste, my family used to kill me, especially when I made the holiday food because it was so salty. They were like, oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord, you have no idea. My family, they just verbal. They don't care about your feelings.
Lisa, I'm feeling really tolerant today, so I got to take a break, but I want you to hold on because I'm in a mood to actually talk to you.
I got to make my statement, too. Oh, okay. I want to make my statement, too.
All right, hold on. Well, just hold on. I got to take a break, and you can come back and make your statement. Now, if I don't like your statement, I'll probably hang up on you in the middle of it, but hold on. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth Potawatomi Casino Hotel Heart of Canal Street Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be speaking with Dr. Tiffany Tardy from Pearls for Teen Girls, an organization empowering girls in 5th through 12th grade across the Milwaukee area to lead the lives they deserve. Again, that is the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Heart of Canal Street Spotlight this Wednesday with Pearls for Teen Girls at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Coming with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch the Tori Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
There was a straw that broke the camel's back. Now, here's the other thing. A Zorhan Mamdani couldn't win in Wisconsin. He could not have won any race in New Jersey. He could not have won even in places that are as liberal as California.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
Here's where the Democratic Party needs to rebrand itself, and I think it's going to learn a lesson very, very quickly, because in projecting to the future, future, I think they're already planning for a Hakeem Jeffries political agenda as Speaker of the House, which will, and Gavin Newsom was right when he gave his speech last night, it will effectively end Donald Trump's presidency. Once Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker of the House, Donald Trump will be the lamest of all lame ducks, and the impeachments will start, and I'm going to relish and bask in it because it's exactly what Donald Trump deserves. He did this to himself by trying to do terrible stuff to us.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'm going to get into the details of how I think we need to regulate this really potent marijuana. I'm not even saying that marijuana was the reason why there was that horrific accident on 39th. No, it's not an accident. It was a murder. Sorry. It wasn't an accident. Well, I don't know what happened, but if they say that marijuana was involved, which I find inconsistent with what was in the police report, because the responding detective, the complainant, didn't mention the smell of marijuana or any marijuana paraphernalia in the vicinity, then I don't know if marijuana is the culprit. But I think this gives us an opportunity to really think through the legalization of marijuana. So marijuana advocates, they celebrate the legalization of weed all over the country. At the state level, it's still illegal at the federal level. But if it's not regulated and it's not studied and we don't know what its effects are with certain people with certain predispositions towards psychosis or what interactions it may have, THC, Delta-9, Delta-8 with other medications, then we could be legalizing something that is very, very dangerous. It's also been brought to the forefront that we've got a major mental health crisis in this country. And I believe that a lot of people are turning to drugs like marijuana to deal with their depression, their anxiety. And to the extent it helps those people, I'm all for it. But some people will have adverse reactions to it. Most of the time, I'm only speaking for myself, being high is really uncomfortable. And then I get very, very, very hungry. And I think that I'm a chef, but have very limited ingredients, and I make weird stuff. Nobody needs to live this way. Let's continue our conversation with Lisa. Lisa, you ever smoked some weed before? I know you have.
No, that's
cut it out.
No.
Sure.
Gosh, no.
You smoked the weed.
I can't stand the smoke. I can't stand the smoke, let alone smoke it. That stuff will make me hurt my stomach, and just like cigarettes, I got to go to the bathroom, and I don't like to go to the bathroom like that. All right, then. So, no, I do not smoke. Don't want to smoke. I hate the stuff. That's Milwaukee's cologne and perfume.
Oh, no, you don't.
They got to get weed on. They got to go around the whole. Why you smell like a weed factory? You just can't smoke one puff, and then put it out and keep on going. No, you got to smoke several. I don't get it. I don't like my mind. I need my whole mind. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not a depressed person, never been depressed, don't know how to be depressed. But anyway, I would like to say this to Al. Al, I as much as I love you, sweetie baby. I do love you. I'll be loving your comments, and I figure out what sugar, honey, iced tea means. I say, oh, I'm slow. But anyway,
wait a second. Wait, Lisa, you don't know what sugar, honey, iced tea means?
I know now. I had this. I'm like, what did he say? Sugar, honey, iced tea, sugar. I said, oh, I know what that means. I said, oh Lord, he's so special. I love him so much. Hey, Sherwin, come on. I mean, Rick, let me say what I gotta say now.
That is not me, so that's Sherwin doing that.
Sherwin, stop! Oh God, Sherwin, stop! Why are you doing that? Okay, but thank you. But anyway, Al, as much as I love you, baby, it ain't as much as I love you, Al. It's not Jesus' fault. Jesus, and when you talk like that really
Jesus
hurt
can.
my
Hold
soul.
on, Lisa.
Really
Jesus can speak for himself.
Well, I'm speaking for Jesus because he's not here. Because Jesus can speak through me, sweetie.
Jesus is everywhere.
I love, as not, if you think about it, if you believe in God, then, Jesus, God made Jesus. Well, God, first of all, is a title. But Jehovah made Jesus. And if Jesus is all that, if he's that bad, then you must think about his Father, his Creator. Well, he created him. He made him. He raised him. So if Jesus is bad, then your God is bad. But anyway, I love you, sweetie. It's just, it hurts my ears and my heart when you talk and speak like that. So calm down a little bit because that's not true. That's really not true. I mean, I would like to sit down and listen to you, talk to you, just have coffee and tea. And, we ain't even got to talk about Jesus.
That's missionary
We can talk
work.
about
No,
anything else.
Lisa, here's the thing. Now, some people have thoughts.
I said that's on me and Al.
No, I wanted to use this
talk
as a
about
teachable
Jesus?
moment because it's not just you talking to Al right now. There are some people that have different experiences and interactions and understandings of religion, and you have yours, and that's great. But other people have theirs too, so it is never necessary for you to impart your thoughts and feelings because your interaction with religion is different than everybody else's, and we appreciate your understanding and your commitment, but your understanding and your commitment is exactly that. It's yours. So don't
and it's Al's
take it
also.
away. Correct, and he has his, and you have, and you guys have different understandings, and we just agree to disagree. That's what we don't try to convince somebody.
Right.
All right, now.
So I just no. I asked them to please just calm down on that. I ain't asking them to stop. Because people, you can say what you want to say because those are your feelings. He might have had a harsher life than I did. He might have. People probably talked about him and that because church people are evil. Oh my God! And I agree with him on that. Church people. Oh my God! I lived it. They something special, baby. So that's why I got out of the church.
So hang on a second, Lisa. So you talk about religion and what your religion means to you. Most people think that church is the house of worship, but then you're going to be over here saying that church people are evil. You can't say that. That's not nice. That's like saying all black people are criminals.
Well, the church, Sherwin, the church don't do anything that they're supposed to be doing. The church don't take care of the community. You can't say that about every church. I'm being real. I'm living it. I lived it.
Maybe it's that church.
When I say I lived it. I was in it. I know what them deacons and pastors and stuff doing.
What? Hold on, wait, Lisa.
I be talking to them.
What are they doing?
They doing what they don't supposed to be doing.
Give me an example. Don't name no names though. What's something they be doing?
You remember? I don't know if Perkins Restaurant's still there, but that's where you will go to see all the preachers early in the morning.
They would just be there eating.
There. What y'all talking about?
Eating. That's all.
You're eating my batacamas. I told you I had an insider. My cousin was a garden tool, and she would come back and tell me this pastor. I was like,
Your cousin was a what now?
She was a garden tool.
Which one? Which kind? A trowel?
The one you
rake?
No. What do you do with a? I don't know what you. The thing that you did with a hoe. Did you dig with a hoe? I don't know.
I mean,
right now my mind is not whatever. But yeah, she was right on the point.
Dig a hoe.
And these were married men, and they running the church. Oh yeah. Now and then what they did to my mama. I was about maybe 9 or 10. They keyed her whole car. Yeah. Don't look. I was like, when the pastor came and asked me, Pastor Todd, I don't know if you remember Pastor Todd, but he doesn't
Lisa, I said don't mention any names.
Oh, well, I
But since we're talking about Pastor Todd, come on, give me that dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me.
He asked me he want me to, we know when pastors go invited to another church, after 3:30, instead of taking the whole choir, he just wanted to take me. He wanted me to be a solo. Now, my mother was a soloist.
Because you're a good singer.
And
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Yeah, oh, yes, it is.
What you mean? He wanted to take you with him. He was a visiting pastor at another church, and he wanted to bring you because you're a singer.
Baby, choirs are in competition. You didn't know that?
So what's the problem with him wanting to take you to another church?
Because I remember in church, the choir, the choir director said, I want Lisa to do a solo on this song. Well, why she got to do it? I'm like, oh, God, I don't even know her. Pastor Todd been knowing me since I was a fetus. So his children lived right down the block from us, was raised and everything. So they didn't know, I would come and go. They didn't know anything about me. They didn't know I knew Pastor Todd, whatever, and the whole family. But
is Pastor Todd still around? Is he still a pastor in Milwaukee?
No, man, he deceased, man. And
you don't even talk about a dead pastor, Lisa. You can't talk about the dead.
It's not what he envisioned, because I remember we walked around and he was telling me his vision for the church and everything. And it is not what he envisioned. And I know I will not ever step feet back, not even into the parking lot. No. All on Facebook and all that type. No, that's not Pastor Todd's vision. No. You wouldn't even talk him into that. He old school. No. Look,
Lisa, I have a feeling you will just, if I keep you on the phone, you will talk forever and just bring up people and bring up situations and bring up Pastor Todd. And
you know what? Like I said, I love Al. I love to hear him talk. Al be saying things that Al, baby, what does that mean? Keep me in the word, because I don't know. Al is funny, and you know what? I believe you could talk to him. He has so much information. He's I think he's educated. I think he's just going to give you his heart. That's what I love about him. He gonna say what he feels. Dang it, say it, baby. I don't care if it hurts your feelings or not. Y'all too soft. Today, y'all are too soft. So that's why I love Al. Al gonna tell you how it is. Al he don't care if you give crocodile tears. He don't care what you say about him. He don't care. Look, that's why I love Al, because Al is him.
All right, then.
He real.
Yes, he
is. Gonna be him.
All right.
And you, Sherwin?
Oh, yes.
You keep looking colorful.
Huh?
You're pretty bright there.
What the hell?
Yeah. My niece said you're a butthead.
Hey, is this the niece that you shared her Twitter account with us? Is it that niece?
No.
The freak niece, the dominatrix niece that was wearing the leather and the lace, the freak with the OnlyFans? Because I got only plans.
I bet you do. But no, she would be like, oh, God.
Where the freak niece at?
Lisa, you listen to
me. I want to know, since we're talking about gossip, where the freak niece?
She at home doing well, raising her son, because, it cost him $14,000. It cost him $14,000 a month for the school that he has to go to. So she got to do, because she can't work, because he has, he's number 4 autism, the ones that really are, they bang their head and stuff. So, you need 5 or 6 people to take care of him. No, he's special. That's my baby, though. Hey! But, yeah, she's doing what she got to do, because, she got to pay the bills. She got to pay her bills, car notes, house notes. She got to do what she got to do. And I don't blame women, that do things like that. So do what you got to do.
I got that coming right out for you. Now, shout out the radio
station. She ain't that tight.
What you want. W boom boom, baby. What you doing from the front? What you doing from the back? Better break it down like that.
Freaky ass song.
What you doing from the front?
I can't stand her. She's not a freak like that.
24, 34, 40.
matter of fact, I'm going with her too.
I have to go. I've been talking to you for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
people are going to tune out of my radio show permanently.
For her Dominicious convention. So I'm going to Greece with her to her Dominicious convention.
You have 1 minute.
Hey, Lisa, before you go, can you share her Twitter again with us?
It's Chava Rain. I don't even know anything about her Facebook. I never.
Hang on, no. We don't need a Facebook. What is it again?
I know it's Chava. CHAVA Rain REIGN.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. All right, now we appreciate talking to you.
You're welcome. Love you. Have a good day, Rick. I love you. You have a good day, Sherwin.
Okay, then. All right, y'all. You got it, Zach. Chava Rain. Because the last time we looked at it, it was. Oh, well. Woo, she got a video. That's her? Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, this is a video of her answering the door. And it's a man on his knees. Giving her a gift-wrapped bouquet of $100 bills. There's a man. So this is Lisa's niece. Also, Zach, we're probably going to have to remove that P.D. Pablo music that I played because they're going to zap this YouTube video. That was a lot of P.D. Pablo. I think it's still playing. Chava, Rain, Lisa, one leg, Bob, one arm, Al, the 69 God. I got to take a break. I'm going to get canceled for sure. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Milwaukee Panthers hit the road for a big matchup this Wednesday as they travel to Big Ten country to take on the Indiana Hoosiers.
Intercepted by Franklin. Hubbard 1-on-2 into the paint. Left hand floater is pure and he tumbles to the ground. Hubbard left wing. Buries the three. 24-19.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 6 years. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30 of 2025.
Wisconsin winters can be tough, and so are higher energy bills. The Community Advocates Milwaukee County Energy Assistance Program is ready to help you. Eligible Milwaukee County residents can receive help with their energy bills and weatherization benefits to keep you warm and help you manage your heating and electric bills. Schedule your personal appointment at keepwarmmke.org or call 414-270-4653. For more details about locations and hours of operation, go to communityadvocates.net. This program is administered by the State of Wisconsin Department of Administration.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Students learn best when they can put their knowledge into action. JA's Stock Market Challenge teaches high school students how to analyze stocks and how current events impact value. Thanks to RSM, our partner that makes this program possible. It's just one of many ways JA brings learning to life. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
If you've been injured, let our team help get you back in the game.
Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's a big week for Educators Credit Union during College Scholarship Month on 1017 The Truth. Tap into Truth in the Morning on Wednesday at 8:30 as they'll be joined by Victor Frasher, Director of Community Engagement at Educators Credit Union. They'll highlight the $70,000 in scholarships Educators gives to 35 high school seniors in southeastern Wisconsin. Don't miss the interview.
You're telling me that you love me.
You don't know nothing about this.
I can turn it off now before the YouTube get pulled.
I forget about that sometimes. That's why I said I was gonna make all my own AI musics. But like this, like that SWV album. What year was that? What summer was that? 96? 97? Oh my goodness. If you were born in 1990, you were born too late. If you were born in the 2000s, that sucks. You didn't have anything good. You started your life off with September 11th. Being born in the 2000s is terrible. You had to know the analog world, the world where you could just be free. You weren't under constant surveillance. Wasn't nobody stealing your data. You could just go places. You weren't tied to a phone. You weren't tied to a device. You know what one of the biggest differences is? And I'm going to get some marijuana regulation in a second. Don't worry. The suggestions that I have for marijuana regulation will never come to fruition, so it can wait. But here's the biggest difference that I've noticed between right now and yesteryear, back in the day, the analog days, when we weren't living as our political identities now are our genders. We wear them. They are who we are as people. It didn't used to be like that. We used to be people. Now it's your affiliation. You're an L, a G, a B, a T, a Q. You're a heterosexual, cisgendered. When did all that stuff happen? We used to be black or African American. I don't know what we used to be, but whatever. It was less confusing. Here's the biggest difference. I like going to concerts. I like seeing my favorite artists or even artists I may not know very well live. I may not go to movies and theaters anymore, but there's nothing like going and seeing live music, especially in a big venue. A movie theater I can do without, but going to see live shows ain't nothing like that. I love those communal experiences where you're listening to the same music with a whole bunch of strangers and you feel like a big-ass family. Here's the difference. Now, when you go to any concert, I don't care what the hell it is, people have their phones, they're recording it. When are you ever going to watch that again? It's almost like people are missing the moment, living in the moment to record the moment, to watch the moment later. You're missing the point. The point is to be in the moment at that time, boo-boo. Now, I've gone to stuff before, you recorded stuff like, oh, so-and-so was coming out at the T-Pain Festival or whatever. I don't ever go back, let me watch this 13 minutes and 14 seconds of footage I recorded last June. I'll never watch it again. All I was doing is taking up memory on my phone. I would rather just experience it real time. But that's the biggest difference. Like, everybody feels like they have to record life as it comes instead of just living life as it comes, because here's where the misnomer is. You're living in the moment. You're at a concert. That's the whole point of being there live. If that's the case, just watch somebody else's recording of it. Why spend the money on the tickets? So you will record a show, and some people record the whole thing. And then maybe they go back and watch it. You can't ever be in that moment ever again because the moment passed. Even if you're watching whatever you recorded of the concert, the show, whatever, the moment is over. And watching the video reproduction of the moment is not the same thing. I would rather enjoy it while I'm there and have the memory instead of having the memory be digital, because even the digital memory, it still is not. It's not the same thing. All right. Public health first. Cannabis regulation should prioritize population health over commercial or tax revenue goals. So you have Francesca Hong, who's going to start getting more and more attention as a Democratic candidate for governor in the state of Wisconsin. I don't know her. I've never met her. Maybe I will. Who knows? But she is a Democratic socialist, and she, like many others, feels emboldened right now, and rightfully so, because of Zohran Mamdani's win in the New York City mayor's race, and also Chuck Schumer and his compromise, him and 7 other Democrats in the U.S. Senate, his compromise with John Thune and the Trump-supporting Republicans in the Senate screwed over millions of Americans with their lack of compromise on the Affordable Care Act, which is also going to jeopardize some of the expansions that states accepted for Medicare and Medicaid. That would be Badger Care here in the state of Wisconsin. We will lose some Badger Care funding because of this lack of compromise that the Democrats just couldn't find a way to compromise and have reopened the government by sacrificing the American people's ability to afford health insurance, which to me is a non-starter and unforgivable. But Chuck Schumer he's the face of that. And I think that the more liberal wing of the Democratic Party, not only are they emboldened, they're emboldened by Trump, they're emboldened by a large win in a city of damn near 10 million people with the New York mayor's race, but also emboldened by the fact that Chuck Schumer, whether he was involved or not, he can't keep his caucus in order. And if you're a Democratic leader in the Senate or in the House, you got to keep your people. It's so frustrating. The whole point. Let me tell you why Nancy Pelosi was so cold. Most of y'all don't even know the depths of the genius of that woman, and her retiring from the House of Representatives, and rightfully so. She's damn near 90 years old. Nancy kept her caucus in order. Nancy said, look, we're going to pass this damn Obamacare. And all the Democrats in the House of Representatives, I don't know what's in it. I don't like it. She's like, hold on, player. You going to vote for this. I'm the Speaker of the House. I run this show. You will get in line. And she did it. That is the whole point of being Speaker of the House, or the majority leader, or the minority leader. You keep them people in line. And some of them got different issues. Some of them got re-elections that they worried about. None of that matter when it comes to leadership in either houses of Congress. I'm going to give Mike Johnson credit. He keep his people in line. No defection. You will vote to reopen the government, even though there's probably some members, some Republicans in his caucus, in his conference, and Mr. Speaker, I don't like this government shutdown. I don't like this bill. Now, I don't like some of these things we got to do now, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, well, that's just too damn bad. You're going to have to vote for it anyway because this is what we're here to do, and I'm going to keep your asses in line. Chuck Schumer's inability, and he knows things that I don't, right? And those 8 Democrats that voted, including Chuck Schumer, to reopen the government, they are exposed to information that we are not. They're playing the long game with the Republicans, but in the short term, we need health care subsidies. So in the long game, yes, the Democrats may come out on top. In January of 2027, but in the immediate term, Chuck Schumer failed, and so the Democratic Socialists are emboldened. I saw a video that Francesca Hong posted on Twitter about legalizing marijuana, one thing that she would do if she was elected governor. And then they go quick to, we would take the money, we would invest in everything from public education to infrastructure, whatever. I think that that's short-sighted. I think that that was a decent narrative before we knew the negative pervasive effects of this marijuana that's available. Because I'm not saying that all marijuana smokers are Kia boys, but all Kia boys are marijuana smokers. I'm not saying that all marijuana smokers are YNs, but all YNs are marijuana smokers. This marijuana is potent. Now, I'm not saying that it was the reason why we talked about this story earlier in the program where Jamaica Mills killed Ariel Spillner. She said, we were smoking marijuana and I got paranoid. I don't know if it was actually marijuana that caused that homicide, but we cannot dismiss the ultra potency and the inconsistent effects. One person, here's an example, okay? Ricky can smoke a blunt and go do algebra or go construct a barn in the woods, right? Ricky could eat an edible and recite the Constitution by heart, okay? Some people can, I'm not saying that Ricky does any of those things, but some people can ingest THC and be perfectly fine. There's some people that when they ingest THC, they end up like Smokey in the chicken coop in the first Friday movie. They end up thinking that they're a chicken in their boxer shorts at 3 o'clock in the morning. So there's so much variation because the different chemical substances and how they interact with our cannabinol receptors in our brain is very unpredictable. So we need heavier regulation on the marijuana. We can't just say, let's just legalize all of it and then use the tax revenue for whatever. That's blood money to me. Because we are going to be impacting children. And I know that nobody really cares about kids anymore, but we should because it's not like to the future or anything. Hey, Rick, you want to just make the people rich?
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. That's right. Now is your chance to be our Gruber $5,000 giveaway entry for the day. You heard me right, damn it. We're going to enter you to win 5 stacks. We'll take caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. Caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. And guess what? You'll be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices and 1017 The Truth. Again, caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. And remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Call them now. Just call them and say, hey, David Gruber, I may get in an accident. I just want to get on a first-name basis with you. Actually, don't call them for that. They're probably very busy. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Call number 7 at 833-212-1017. Gets entered to win 5 Gs. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
At Educators Credit Union, they believe that every person should have the tools they need to achieve their dreams. Educators Credit Union is dedicated to helping our future leaders eliminate financial hurdles by providing 35 high school seniors a $2,000 scholarship every year. Applications open in January. Visit Educators Credit Union at ECU.com to learn more about how to apply. Educators Credit Union, insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required. So you telling me that you can make lobster tail and crab legs? It will still taste like a lobster tail and crab legs, but they vegan?
Let me tell you, and my customers can testify to this. I can make vegan chitlins.
Now come on. I don't know what chitlins taste like because it's been about 40 years since I had them.
I love them.
But you can do that.
My best customers for my vegan chitlins are those people who still eat meat.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 The Truth. come in with straight truth.
Even the police department arguing over their little 12% that they want, and it's a shortage. Okay, I think at some point the people got to start using common sense. It ain't nothing personal. It's something that's community. That's it. And a lot of people try to deflect and make it personal. That's how you know they ain't doing nothing, because they try to make it personal. But really, it's about the conditions of the neighborhood, the conditions of the residents, the safety quality, the public safety ideas. Are we getting that? Are we using the taxpayers' dollars the best way we can to make a difference, to become a resource for everybody in the family to thrive? Is that happening? Yes or no? And if it's not, then you switch the coach. You get a different philosophy on the people. That's it. When times are tough, you need people to roll up their sleeves and get to work. When everything is working well, you sit back and you let it coast. You can't coast and things are bad.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app. Milwaukee Black Talk.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretend conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hello?
Am I caller number 7?
No.
Okay. How you doing, Sherwin?
I'm doing good. How are you? You're about caller number 47. We get caller number 7 real fast. You gotta be quick.
Well, then that mean the recording of the show is slow or something. It's not in real time.
What do you mean?
Tell me the truth.
So where do you listen? Do you listen on a radio, on the app, on YouTube?
Both. Like I go from my TV to, if I'm walking in the house, I go to the radio. I hear it in the kitchen. Okay.
The radio is probably the best bet, because that's going to be less delay.
Gotcha.
But by the time I finish reading, be caller number 7, give the phone number out, all of our devices, everyone has heard it. So that's why I take an extra long time to read it, so then all the people on the YouTube, listen on the app, listen on radio, they've all had a chance to hear. But then once you hear it, once you hear the one call, play it, Ricky. Once you hear this.
One call, that's all.
You got to be on it. You got to be on it real quick, real fast. Don't even wait till I say what caller number. You got to be on it.
Well, that's what I thought I was doing.
Is this
Can I get a shout out? Can I give a shout out to my YouTubers?
First of all, who is this?
This is Christina, Classy Girl.
Oh, hi, Christina, Classy Girl. Yeah, you can give a shout out to whoever you want to.
Hey, YouTubers. I see y'all. Okay.
Thank you for your call. Now go back to YouTube now.
Yes.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right, now. Bye-bye.
At least we know she listens.
Yeah, I met her she comes to our events. I think I need to do another event, because what's happening is people are having events without me. I don't like that.
You feel left out? You told them to do it, though. You literally told them to do it.
Don't be listening to me sometimes. Don't be listening to what I'll be telling people to do. It's not always smart to listen to me. Well, who in their right mind would listen to me?
You have a whole radio show. They have no choice but to listen to you.
They do have a choice. Whether they actually take my advice on what I say, that's on y'all. Some of the advice that I give, you going to jail.
And not only that, I think we should switch it up, because I think it's kind of predictable, because they know we do it every Tuesday in the last hour. What if we do it like in the middle of the 10 o'clock hour or 9 o'clock hour? Let's try to switch it up, because they be calling way too fast.
What, the Gruber, you mean?
Yeah. They call like they wait by their phone like 11 o'clock hour and they hit it.
But 11 o'clock is when like our listenership peaks.
I know.
And I want maximum number of people to hear the grouper. And plus, they don't know when we do it. I don't think anybody keeps track. So for you people that don't know, so we did the Gruber giveaway today on my show. Tomorrow it's going to be on Kyle's show. Thursday it's going to be on Tori's show. Friday it's going to be on Dr. Ken's show. Monday it's going to be on the morning show. Next Tuesday it'll be on my show again. So if you miss it on my show today, listen to Kyle's show tomorrow and you'll have another chance. Ricky, I've never seen us get this many votes in a poll ever before. We have 148 votes. If you go to YouTube, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. You too can vote on our poll. The question is very simple. Should weed be legal?
Oh, y'all some druggies.
80% of the people said yes, that weed should be legal.
Y'all be doing that dope.
Oh, so if 80% of the people said yes, weed should be legal, 60% of the people in the YouTube chat right now are high. You look at how they type. Not high people don't say some of the stuff. Hold on, what were they just?
Let's make a poll right now. How many of you are high right now?
Don't make them ask. Well, it's anonymous.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is done. So clearly 80% of, maybe we do that one tomorrow. Because I want this poll I want to see how many numbers. It's just went up another person just voted, 149 people. There was something that somebody said. I got to scroll through the YouTube chat because they just talk about nonsense sometimes. CL Paver says, you got to work on your DJ skills, Sherwin. Just let Rick do it so all your shows aren't canceled. That ain't got, hey, now. But the music that you play.
Me and Zach both did it at the same time.
But the music that you play depends on what, because we don't know what YouTube is going to pull. You know, there's been Michael Jackson, they're pulling the whole show. Sade. I played a 10-second clip of Sade, and they took the whole damn show down. So you never know. But then there's some songs I can play 5 minutes of, and YouTube doesn't do a copyright infringement.
So let me ask you this. What does Doo-Doo Brown have to do with today's topics?
I mean, everything. When is it not? It's always appropriate to play Luke. Always. Always a time for the. Yes, it is.
It is not.
I played at my funeral. My funeral, listen, I don't know when I'm going to go. I'm happy for all the years that I've had, and I want as many as I can get. But hold on, though. Y'all better turn up at my funeral.
To Luke and the Two Live Crew? Absolutely not.
Listen, I want y'all to kick it. Be like, Sherwin wants, don't be sad. I need y'all to party down. Kick it.
Real. I turned shorty up, sipping on that 1942. I got my 40 tuck.
Don't play that at my funeral. Because my mother would be like, hey, who's got their 40 tucks? Wait a minute. Hey, untuck your 40s. It's ridiculous. My father wouldn't care. He'd probably start dancing. Well, I like this right here. I like this. Let me tell you what's crazy. So I did I look at Google Maps sometimes just because it's fun. And so I put in my parents' address in Google Maps.
Oh, I've seen this.
My pops got caught slipping. I'm thinking to myself, you ain't see the Google man? Because they got the thing on the car, the big circle, taking pictures of everything. My pops is out there. Let me tell you what's crazy. So my pops is out there with a leaf blower, okay? It's 9 leaves on the ground. And my pops is out there with a leaf blower, and he got caught. And if because with Google Maps, you can actually click the arrow to move progressively down the street. They have my father in every single frame with a leaf blower. And it's 9 leaves on the ground. My pops was like, I'm going to get these damn leaves. I don't know who these leaves think they are. I'm about to blow these mother suckers right here. Yeah. I can imagine him talking to himself while he's doing it. Yeah, come here, sucker. My father's old school. Yo, jive turkey. Pops got caught slipping.
You 5 across the lip. 5 across the lip.
On the black hand side. Come on now. Out there with a leaf blower. Looking like an old sharecropper. He's probably listening and getting really mad right now. Sorry, Pops. But it's funny. He's immortalized on Google Maps But no, he's there walking across the yard.
She takes care of his yard.
Oh yeah, both my parents. The
nice
backyard.
house and a lawn too.
That's where I grew up. My parents moved there when I was 5. That's the house. That's my house. That's home for me.
Got a nice little driveway.
Precautionary approach. Where science is uncertain, regulation of marijuana should err on the side of protecting public health, especially in neurodevelopmental stages of youth and young adults under 25. Transparency and accountability. There needs to be more in marijuana regulation. All cannabis products must undergo rigorous independent testing and full disclosure of chemical composition beyond the THC and the CBD. No product, marketing, or form factor should resemble items traditionally associated with childhood or candy. So all of the THC-infused products that look like candy, that are candy, have to be banned. There need to be caps on potency. Maximum 10% THC limit on all flower products. Maximum 5% THC per serving or 20 milligrams per package limit for edibles. Concentrates, vapes, oils, and dabs limited to 30% THC maximum and only sold by prescription or special medical license. They made vapes illegal in Milwaukee. Did y'all know that? Well, those of you that vape do. So it's the nicotine vapes, not even the marijuana vapes. You got to go to Illinois to get a nicotine vape. Full chemical profiling, mandatory testing of all cannabinoids, terpenes, and unknown compounds using mass spectrometry. Ban the sale of products containing uncharacterized or novel cannabinoids, delta-8, THC, THCP, HHC, until studied and approved by state health boards, and a ban on additives and synthetic modifiers, no chemical flavoring, sweeteners, or synthetic THC analogs, no additives designed to mask the plant's natural taste or smell. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth Potawatomi Casino Hotel Heart of Canal Street Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be speaking with Dr. Tiffany Tardy from Pearls for Teen Girls, an organization empowering girls in 5th through 12th grade across the Milwaukee area to lead the lives they deserve. Again, that is the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Heart of Canal Street Spotlight this Wednesday with Pearls for Teen Girls at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the first-time home buyer education workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Saving energy and money? It's easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%. And make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com. Again, that is WeEnergies.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident. one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Gene, you're on 1017 The Truth. How are you, Gene?
I'm fine. How are you with your crazy self? You're the only person that could say stuff like that. I hope your dad was listening. That was way too funny. I hope your dad was listening. And Mr. Sherwin, I looked up my uncle in Attala County, Mississippi, and sure enough, he was standing there, standing next to the postman talking. I said, don't you see the Google truck coming by? Obviously, he didn't.
Hang on, Gene. You got peoples in Attala County, Mississippi? Well, 90% of black
And
folks in Milwaukee.
Yep, and Choctaw County, Mississippi, too. I was just there 2 months ago.
You some kin to me? We related?
Maybe. Possibly.
I would ask you what your last
knows?
name is, but we don't want to reveal too much information on the airwaves because these people out here is crazy. So we don't want to reveal your
Yes, they are, and I have several last names. But yes, Attala County, Mississippi on Strawbridge Road.
All right, cousin. Appreciate the telephone.
And yes, cousin. One more thing.
Yes,
no, recreational marijuana, If you need it for medical purposes, I'm all for it. I love you, and I'll be listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love you too, Gene. She called to talk about, I hope your father is listening. I don't know what that man doing. That man probably out there having a fight with 9 leaves in the front yard. If you go to well, actually, no, you have to be friends with me on Facebook in order to see it because it's limited to my friends only. But here's a little bit of advice. And please don't take this the wrong way, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't. I got to say this in a way that won't offend anybody. But I'm just asking for a little bit of grace. Can you please, ladies and gentlemen, afford me a little bit of grace with what I'm about to say? Okay. If you're going to send me an unsolicited friend request, like if I don't know you, don't. Because I just, you know what I mean? I don't want you to.
What if they fans of the show?
Go to the Hughes Views Facebook group. That's what that group is for. And also, here's the thing. You know what? No, that's fine. I'll judge the friend request on a case-by-case basis. No, that's fine. Add me as a friend. I'll accept or deny. It's fine. But if this is what's going to offend people. So a lot of you are on like Instagram and you're on TikTok, whatever, and you have your algorithms that show you, like, I don't know, like different politicians and, you know, somebody saying something really cunning about Donald Trump. You're right. And so you guys see this stuff and you're like, oh, snap. I'm going to send this to Sherwin. Stop. Don't. Do you know how many of those I get? Somebody is just scrolling through their algorithm like, oh, wow, this is something remotely political that is interesting. Interesting to the scroller. They're like, oh, let me send this to Sherwin. I'll have 97 people a day sending me 15, 20, or 30 different TikToks or Instagram reels. Please, I'm not ever going to look at those. Don't do it. Here's what I would say. Post it on your page, and if you think it's something that's valuable, tag me in it. But if you won't post it on your page, don't email it to me or inbox it to me. I get so many. I can't even. There's some inboxes, like sometimes I use my messenger or whatever to communicate with people, but I got so many other. Some of y'all gonna get mad. Oh, Sherwin, I thought that you would find this information useful. Nah, not really. You found it useful, so great. I love that for you. But you don't got to send me everything in your Instagram algorithm and your... I don't even have TikTok. I hate it. TikTok used to take up too much of my time. I had TikTok for 2 years. Now, the Hughes Views page exists on TikTok, but it's like one video on there. Because I have to have a presence on TikTok, but I don't like it. It's stupid. 154 votes have been cast. The question is, should weed be legal? 81%. The percentage of yes votes is going up. 81% say yes. 19% say no. So even though I spent, I don't know, most of this show talking about a homicide where, now this is what the woman said. We don't know what actually she was on when she killed Ariel Spillner, but we talked about the dangers of this really super potent marijuana. And if people already have a predisposition to psychosis, then some of this potent marijuana could make things a lot worse. There have been 127 homicides in the city of Milwaukee to date. 2% of the homicide victims are 0 to 9 years old. 13% are 10 to 17 years old. 28% of homicide victims in the city of Milwaukee are between the ages of 18 and 29. 24% are between the ages of 30 and 39, and 13% are between the ages of 40 and 49. But here's what's crazy. 50-year-old plus, that's 18%. So if you're 50 plus, you are more likely to be a homicide victim than if you were in your 40s. I thought that the older you got, the safer you were from such tragedies. Cause of death. 2% of the homicides in the city of Milwaukee were because of abuse, 1% because of arson, 4% were beatings, 5% were other, 5% of the victims in Milwaukee, homicide victims, were stabbed, 83% were shot. You guys want to know the racial demographics? Unknown race of the homicide victims in Milwaukee, of the 127 current as of yesterday, 3% were unknown race, 2% were, quote, other race, 5% white, 6% Hispanic, 1% Asian. 83% of the homicide victims are black, and 83% of them were shot. 17% of the homicide victims in the city of Milwaukee, of the 127 homicide victims we have had so far to date, 17% have been women. 80% have been men. Charges filed in the 127 homicides to date that we have had in the city of Milwaukee. In 44% of those cases, charges were filed. But in 56%, or the majority of the current homicide cases in the city of Milwaukee, 56%, there have been no charges filed. Now, it doesn't give the details of do we know the known suspect? Because you can know the suspect and just haven't caught him or her yet. But charges have not been filed in 56% of the cases, of the 127 homicide cases. So here's the danger zone. If you are a black male between the ages of 18 and 39, 52% of black males in Milwaukee between 18 and 39 have been homicide victims. Brothers, please be careful. Thank you for listening. Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace is up next.
So let me ask you, when the government, and again, I'm doing the air quotes, tightens the belt, who's standing underneath the belt